Sorry, everybody, but the wifey had called in. I had to take the phone call. I hope everybody could rejoin right now. I'll wait for everybody to kick in, because I knew there was like 7, 8 people already in there. We'll wait for everybody to rejoin right now. But yeah, until everybody joins, I wanted to share something with you guys. Oh wait, there's one person in right now, so I hope they rejoin real quick. Who's with me in the chat room? Alright, Megan's back. Yeah, I had to take a phone call. Yeah, sorry everybody. Yeah, I had to take a phone call. Now it says like 0 people in there. This is possible if they're writing stuff. Nice. Everybody's here? Hello. Here we go. There we go. Welcome everybody. I don't know why it says 0 people are in there when there's like 5 or 6 people in there already. Yeah, I had to take a call. Hey, Sandra. What's up? Hey, everybody. What's going on there? So, we're going to talk a little bit about a few things real quick. First, yeah, let's get likes. Come on. I don't know why it's like that. So, everybody, too, support my Patreon if you can. It's one of the best platforms out there. And I'm revamping the whole thing. I have a lot of good ideas for my Patreon. So, it's going to be really amazing. The live chats and the live classes I'm going to be doing. And I'm going to be sending crystals to my higher subscribers and doing readings like always. And we're going to be doing live viewings. What's up, everybody? Hey, everybody in the chat room. So, I have a really important topic I want to bring up right now. But first of all, I want to talk about my viewing. People have heard of the ancient stories of the ancient goddess Tiamat. Now, Tiamat is, of course, Babylonian, Mesopotamian. Yeah, it says 7, but it says 0. It says 0 on mine right now. And not to mention, guys, I got something from YouTube a while back, like 6 months ago, saying that my subscribers and my views are significantly higher than what's showing, and they can't explain why. So basically they're saying that I got hacked, I got suppressed, and they don't want to admit it. You know, they're saying that my subscribers and my views are significantly higher than what's showing. And you know, I've been busting my ass at work and stuff all day long, so I don't really have time to be arguing with YouTube or figuring I do most of my stuff on Patreon. You guys will notice that I don't put a lot of videos on YouTube anymore. Most of my videos are unlisted on YouTube because I only have them for my subscribers on Patreon. And you know, that's the only way to weed out what's going on and give it to the people that are really serious to hear my info, because I have so many people that were kind of like associates of mine like a few years ago that just steal my ideas, steal my work, steal my visions, even steal my info, you know. So it's crazy when you there'll be people that email me, oh, you should check out this person, oh, you should check out that person. They don't even realize that, hey, you know, most of that person usually gets most of their info from me or my shows or things that I've said. And if you go back and look, I most likely interviewed that person years ago, and now they don't talk to me anymore because they use my information. You know, it's sad, but you know what? I don't care about that stuff because I'm always going to be coming out with new information because it's my visions, it's my stuff. Other people would need to feed off what I'm coming, so they'll need, you know, they'll never be coming up with new stuff. They'll always be coming up with somebody else's stuff. So I'm not worried about that, you know. Ever at all. But the goddess Tiamat, you know, she was said to have created heaven and earth from her body. You know, the god Marduk destroyed her, and from her body the heavens and earth was formed. Now this is a really weird tale, right? What is going on here? So I did a psychic viewing of this story. I read through the story. I took an image of Tiamat. I basically had orgone generators going. I was enhancing my thoughts, and I was in a meditative state. I do everything I can to possibly clear my mind, and I focus on the image, and I was reading through the story, and I was thinking about it, and literally Tiamat to me was similar to this asteroid Uamumu, or whatever it's called. It was like a flying caravan, a flying lab. And you see, the astral dragons are made out of metallic mercury, or metals, and matter, and physical body, and all these things you need to seed an environment, to terraform an environment. I got the sun right in my face too. So this is truly what I believe Tiamat was. Tiamat was a flying caravan, of a lab, has genetic material, metals, everything you need to seed an environment. And it flew into our atmosphere, and Earth, Marduk, destroyed it. It broke up, and it seeded our world. You know, and they picture, there's a relief carving from a temple, Nimrod in Assyria, that looks like this, of Tiamat. And I truly believe, from what I've seen, from what came to me, that this is what Tiamat actually was. It was something sent here to terraform this world. You could call it a goddess, you could call it a, whatever you want to call it. But it was sent here with a desired mission, and it seeded our world, it terraformed our world. Now, I want to bring up this topic about secret doctrines and gateways within books. Hopefully I could do a live stream later on tonight. I know it's early right now, it's 4 o'clock here in the East Coast, but by the time I get home, it's going to be like 5 o'clock. And I have to do a reading, and I got the baby and my wife, so hopefully I could do a stream later, because I have some really important stuff to share. But the Zohar is a multi-volume book, a secret doctrine, holy mystical sages put together. It's supposed to be from Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, but it was written way later. It has way later type of words in it. Maybe it was channeled by this sage, or taken from older writings from this sage, but it is a 14th century work, I feel. I think it was around 14th century that I gotta read again, but I think it was actually written in the 14th century. But it really is a gateway within that book, and many other secret doctrines. Now, they literally make the book a dimensional gateway. And you'll see that the book itself will be some sort of dimensional gateway in itself. You know, it's codes and formulas. And I have most of the volumes of the Zohar. This is one of the best editions you can find, the Pritzker edition, by Daniel Matt. He's a scholar, and this is actually the Stanford University edition of the Zohar. I have the many volumes of this, and you will see when you enter the gateway of the Zohar, you start literally with a dimensional gateway at the beginning. Most secret doctrines, when you enter the first page, when you enter the book, you literally enter a physical gateway that's magically charged as a dimensional gateway, a multi-dimensional gateway for you to receive and activate information and receive formulas and codes within the material written inside. When you enter the Zohar, you enter a dimensional gateway. Now, at the end of each book, you leave the Zohar, you leave a dimensional gateway as well in the Zohar. And you'll find this in many, many secret doctrines. It's really interesting stuff. They will magically charge the books. Now, another example you'll see in most books, right? Another example here, the Hieroglyphic Monad, which is a book that John Dee written in about 7 to 10 days. What's up, everybody? What's up, Aaron? Now, John Dee wrote this book. It's a very important book. I really recommend you guys. Yes, Dawn, we can talk later. So this is another example of John Dee starting one of his books with a dimensional gateway. This is one of John Dee's famous books. And hey, into it, John, what's going on? So see, this is John Dee's famous book. And it says 0 watching on my screen, by the way. 0 thumbs up and 0 watching. I don't know if it's just not. But you'll see John Dee here, The Hieroglyphic Monad. Now, this is a book that was written in 2 weeks by John Dee in the year in 1564 by the famous Elizabethan magus or magus, whatever you want to say, the magician. Well, when that term magician or magus or magus or magus, however you want to pronounce it, it's not just a sorcerer. It's a more distinguished name of a sorcerer. We have it in Strega tradition as well. You would call somebody either a mago or a maga if they're female. This would be a distinguished name for someone who practices magic. That's at a higher level, not just a sorcerer or magician, but someone who is even more distinguished than that. And John Dee was one of them. Even though he left the world in squalor and penniless, he pretty much received great achievements in his magical workings throughout his life. And, you know, this book is another example. You could find it in most special books that have a lot of magically charged information. Here's another example of Aleister Crowley having a Egyptian and Hebrew mixture of Kabbalah and Egyptian sorcery with his dimensional gateway at the beginning of the book. You'll see that as well. You know, in most books, you will find something magically charged will have a physical gateway at the beginning of the book when you enter the gateway. Now, it's really, really interesting. The Zohar is a magical book. It's a lot of commentaries, just like you could find in books like the Sefer Raziel right here. You'll find some sort of gateway or entranceway. Even when you enter the pyramid, you enter it's manifesting. You know, it's the Sefer Raziel was supposed to be the first book given to Adam by the angel Raziel, and it's very interesting stuff. Thank you, everybody. Hello, everybody. But yeah, so to get back to what I was talking to with Tiamat, alchemical dragons. Oh, and I made a mistake when I was talking on my show Saturday night. I said Carl Jung because it was like a mistake in my I don't know why I say Carl Jung. I meant Carl Sagan. My dumbass said Carl Jung, but Carl Sagan had written a book called The Dragons of Eden, and I think he was being a little prematurely naive in a way when he tries to make a big case for serpents in the Bible being dragons. I mean, being dinosaurs, and any kind of talk of dinosaurs or any kind of serpent had to have been dinosaurs. I think he was being a little naive, Mr. Carl Sagan. I think he wasn't taking into consideration dragons, interdimensional beings that not on this physical plane, tangible like dinosaurs. You know, I think that Tiamat was one of these. That's what asteroids are. They are sort of like astral dragons. They're carrying matter. They're carrying physical body. They're carrying spirit, soul. They're carrying all of this stuff to terraform and begin a whole world. And they're flying labs, floating interdimensionally. And I think that's exactly what Tiamat was and is. And she came out of the coiling out of the deep interdimensional space, the void, came into this world and was broken apart. And all her little pieces is how the heavens and the earth were formed. And this is what you find in the stories of Tiamat. Yeah, you know, it doesn't It doesn't mean things like that don't exist, but you got to take into account that people's descriptions could be way off. You know, there's this book I read one time about a guy and his son that went to go live with an African tribe, a voodoo tribe, and they had no contact with the white man or the outside world. And they arrived on a boat on the river into their tribe, and they came out of the boat and they walked up to the tribe. The tribe has never seen a white man before, had never seen a man with hair on his arms before. And they saw these men coming out of the water with their white pale skin and hair moving on their arms and wet from the water. And they were touching their hair on their arms, and they literally thought they were some sort of fish gods that had some sort of scaly type stuff going on their arms. So that can show you just how somebody can be misinterpreted and can see things like that. But, you know, we're going to check you guys later. Everybody support me, donate, join Patreon. I'm going to be home in like an hour. Hopefully we could join up more. I just relayed some interesting, mind-blowing information that you guys should need to check out before you open Secret Doctrines, before you look into these books. Remind yourself what's taking place, and you might be entering a gateway that you don't want to enter. So take heed, take care, and say it with me.